people can and will say whatever they want, regardless of how mean it is. And if you're going to put something online, you just kind of have to acknowledge that people are going to be like that. Even if there's enough people that like it, there's always going to be a couple of people that are jerks. They're just like, bad, 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 this is horrible, bad, 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 blah, 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 and they're going to be really, really rude and really tear it down. And it's one thing to have like a thick skin and just be like, oh yeah, words don't bother me, because words are allowed to bother you. That's fine. You can be upset about words, but if you're going to put stuff online, you kind of have to just accept that the nastiness is going to be out there, and as long as nobody's actively threatening you or something like that, you kind of have to let most of the stuff that you see on the internet just roll off, because otherwise you're just never going to be happy ever. So. And I would have thought somebody in his position might have known that, but maybe he's just not real internet savvy. And it's kind of a funny thing to think people aren't internet savvy.
Right.
In 2016. I mean, we're all used to it by now. I mean, I do remember a time when internet was that kind of stuff, just noises, and you got on to a text-only, not even a website. It was all just message boards, basically, and talked to people or talked to one person, and that was the best that it got. So remembering all that and having been adapted to now, it still kind of surprises me that people would not have adapted, especially people who are admittedly older than I am. I mean, if you're older than me, you've had enough time, and I mean, I understand sometimes you get stuck in kind of like, what's this kind of stuff here? And if you're kind of elderly, you might have avoided that kind of stuff on purpose because it's strange new stuff, and that's fine. You don't have to adjust to it. But if you're in the middle-aged kind of 30s to 40s range, that's your prime thing. I mean, the internet is prime territory for people in this age group, and it just surprises me a lot. I'm just like, really?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was watching it, and now when I look at people's musicians, go into and I critique musicians to have them come onto the show, because not everybody comes onto the show. I'm letting you guys know right here, right now. Now there's a lot of musicians gets played all the time. I get like maybe 30 to 40 bands per week coming on through MusicSmith.com. And some are great and some just like, why? But that's just my taste. And then I was telling hopefully, cross your fingers, a new sponsor today, that this is how I critique musicians. Doesn't matter who you are. You gotta have style. You gotta have rhythm. You got to have an upbeat. And if I see that you can improve, I will take you on board and give you that boost and have you come onto the show. And Corey Feldman, if he actually stopped acting like a musician and be one, he may actually be better at his craft if this is what he wants to pursue. Now, he can do this if he practices in front of a live audience and continue doing it, not let this backlash get him down. It's going to happen. Shoot, I'm waiting for people to tell me this show sucks, And if it does, great. How can I improve on it? So,
Well, you need to fire the spider guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, right. But, maybe I should, right? But the thing is that the thing is, though, is that take the criticism. Don't, go to the dark places and then cry in your bed or whatever. You gotta be like hardcore, or to be in the music industry. I mean, the music industry is just so much harder than being an actor on a screen. It's tough in this career. Very, very tough. And you're not going to make it if you don't toughen up yourself. And now I've been reading over here that if it was a few years back, he would end his life over this. Dude, seriously? I don't want to hear that kind of stuff because I am a youth suicide survivor. I will find you in your LA and I will kick your ass up, get you out of bed, get you in that stage and try it again. That's the kind of person I am. And if he wants his stuff here on the podcast, I'll play his music. That's no big deal because I see potential. I believe, just like Spider said, he was trying too hard. And somehow between all that, he wasn't singing. He was just acting singing. And also, for heaven forbid, Corey, if you are listening to the show, and later on if you do, get your own style. Because we had a Michael Jackson. We know you're best friends, or at the time we're friends, and I know you guys idolize the guy, but get your own style. Stop mimicking MJ. Okay? You gotta have your own style. You have to have your own moves. And it's great that he was your mentor and he shows you how to do things, but you gotta have your own thing. You have your own music. You have angels in the background. That's great. But can they sing? I don't really think they could. They're just pretty faces. It's great they play music, but that's it. That's all they are. That's how I looked at it. But anyway, that's my forte.
Well, if you notice, and they didn't really try too hard to cover it up, but none of them were playing any of the instruments that they had.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, they were at most maybe like poke at it, and like the guitar player never once actually played her instrument.
See, that's bad. Bad.
They were basically just background, which is fine if that's kind of the image you did, because Robert Palmer, as I mentioned before, that's one of the things he was notorious for having just a group of ladies with guitars in the background of his videos, and it was obvious they weren't really supposed to be playing. They were supposed to be faux playing, and nobody was supposed to take it seriously because it was just for fun. That was how he did his videos. But in this case, I don't know if that's what he was going for, and if it was, then okay, I can kind of understand that. It just, could have been a little done better, but whatever. I mean, I think that kind of style is kind of old hat, so to speak, to use another old guy phrase, old hat. But now that I think about it, why do people say old hat? I like old hats. I think old hats are good.
I don't know.
Totally off topic, but an old hat is a good hat. It's worn in. It's good. Why is old hat boring and bad? Huh?
I don't know.
Who out there wants to explain it to me? Because I'm obviously missing something, thinking that old hats are not bad.
Right. And also, Mrs. Spider, the child Mrs. Spider, is just a pretty face, too. So, yeah, Spider, I got you for your pretty face.
Well, I have said more than once that I have a perfect face for radio.
Mm-hmm, you do.
Because you can't see it on the radio. Ha, ha, ha. For anybody who has not heard that joke.
Ha, 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 ha. But anyway,
Cue the laugh track.
So, I mean, me personally, after this is a horrible situation, for Corey, he has potential. This is me looking at a different perspective. He has potential. He's just gotta get over it, lick his wounds, and get up on that stage and do it again. And have the balls to not quit. He can do better. Just don't get your own freaking style, man. Don't copy all the other past musicians and lose those freaking angels who are not even cute. I got better boobs than they do. Spider has better boobs than those chicks do. Anyway.
And yeah, I got the best set in the chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not.
And then to read off some of the people in the group who talked about this topic of Corey's film. I'm going to go down here. His video. Sansi, who is one of our brand new voiceovers, she goes, "This is awful, bless his heart." Again, I feel you can do better, Corey. Marjorie, who is is one of our sponsors. I thought he had died back with River Phoenix. I thought this was an old episode because he's done that weird Michael Jackson goth combo outfit in the 90s when he would be singing awful back then. See here. Another one, Marjorie also says that this time he looked like Jackson and Professor Snipe. And again with Marjorie, he's too sensitive to be in the mainstream music. People are mean, which is true. We are very mean. If he would actually admit the open hood dance, that might have changed things a bit and it would have felt less awkward. Not a tribal song or a music that singer. It could use something to tighten up. He may need someone to critique more before he performs in a small space like that. The kind of irrelevant garden entrance will work on a stage, possibly by exciting. The small venue would also work. The small venues, it would come across as awkward. But again, Corey, you're getting out there. Let's see what else. Also with Marjorie, I don't think he would be tough enough I don't think it's tough enough because acting. See, when he acting, someone else writes the script, someone directs him, and he does the artistic and such, and more of the team effort, and he's not solo. I'm trying to read it her words. In control. I am pretty sure he is a baby, a project, an intervention as he sees it, as an artist versus commercial. Unfortunately, that's not always how art works. When you do this professionally, I think he just wants to be able to be self-critiqued, nor did he think it would be awful. He was totally into it. I just think editing would make it more enjoyable. So, regardless of their bashing, if Corey's listening and someone senses to Corey, it's not all bad. It really, really isn't. It's just he needs work, and he needs someone to help him critique it and improve. And for heaven forbid, get your own style. Anyway. Stop mimicking Michael Jackson. So, that's what this topic's about. Let's talk about the music. Anybody else saw Corey's film, wants to say something about it? Go for it. Guys want the phone number again? I can give that go, guys. Hang on a minute. And then, Corey, get some balls between your legs. It's going to be A-okay, and you can do it again. And if you are listening and you want to send your music to me, go to the website.
Golden opportunity.
I was trying to get a hold of you anyway. So here's the phone number: area code 360-464-4216, and I'd be happy to take anyone's information about Corey's film, any debut, in case he's listening in or listen to it later, because I did hashtag his name onto the first and second half of this podcast. Hopefully he will listen in or whatever. But I'll be happy to play his music. No big deal. Because I feel he has potential. He can do it. Just suck it up. Do it! You can do it! I have faith in Corey Feldman. Just, anyway. I'm going to continue with the same circle over and over again. But lose the chicks. Find chicks who can actually play. Because that's been done already. Anyway, else have any questions or any things about Corey Feldman? I mean, we could talk about this for another while, though. Hey, what time is it anyway? I think Okay, so